What's up, everybody? Ron Harris here. And as you've probably heard by now, because Japan is very, very far ahead, time zone-wise, from most of the world, Shaun Clarida has won the Japan Pro. He's now qualified for both the 2026 Mr. Olympia by virtue of this win and the 2026 212 Olympia. He's qualified for life, or at least for 5 years anyway, by being a two-time champion, but he also took second place. So he could do either one. Let's take a look at some footage. Now, this footage is Instagram footage. Why? Because there was no live stream. There was no live stream for the Japan Pro. This is the same promoter who put on the Masters Olympia back in August and got a lot of crap over his poor lighting, very poor quality live stream, and for not paying the competitors who placed in the money at the Masters Olympia. So same guy who put the Masters Olympia put on this show, the Japan Pro. I'm assuming Shaun had a novelty check on stage. I'm assuming that was good to cash. I don't know. But again, there was no live stream. This is just some Instagram footage. And you can see, I'll put the placings up here. Hope they don't cover up the whole screen. Shaun Clarida was first. Oh, this is actually wrong. I have to fix this. My bad. It was actually Florian from France there in the red trunks. He was second place. Yoan, that's how you pronounce it. Yoan Pradels was third place. Fourth was Jan Turek from Czech Republic. UK's Mark Hector in fifth. Yeah, I gotta fix. Let me just fix this real quick. I can't believe. I think I was so used to Pradels taking second that I automatically had him in. I'm going to look at some more stuff on Instagram too. And we can all complain together about how this promoter really needs to get his act together. So just revising the placings so I can keep those on screen while we talk. Okay, so here were the placings, guys. Shaun Clarida, the Giant Killer, all 178, 180 pounds him. First place, Florian Poisson. I'm going to put that footage up again. Second place. Third place, Yoan. It's pronounced Yoan. Even AI confirmed it. You know AI is never wrong. Yoan Pradels in third place. Jan Turek in fourth. Mark Hector there with the beard over on the right in fifth place. Sixth was Iran's, there's a very Iranian name, Mazahar Tabani Bargani. So it's kind of like Tabani, but it's got some extra on there. Stuart Sutherland. And I had to add beef stew because some of you guys probably don't know who his real name is, Stuart Sutherland. And the Shed, James Hollingshead, down in eighth. Let's get some of your comments going. Giant Killer. Oh, there was a live stream. See, thanks, Xavier, because I mean, if Nick didn't buy it, Nick made this video very early this morning, Nick Strength and Power. I assumed there was no stream. So I apologize to the promoter. Thank you for correcting me. There's a girl on IG streaming on YouTube. The quality is worse than the video you have. I mean, the lighting was just horrific. If I show you some Instagram stuff, you'll see what I mean. You think these guys will get paid? Shaun looked great here. Well, I mean, Shaun had a novelty check. It said $16,000. I assume he can use that to cash it in. I don't know. Let's hope so, right? Let's go to that. Let's go to some of the Instagram stuff. All we have is Instagram. Thank you, Xavier, for correcting me on that, because I know I'm called wrong, Harris, and I'm kind of used to it by now, but I don't want to be wrong all the time. Let me just get rid of this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to get the banner off so you can see a kind of a full screen here. All right, so here's some of his routine there. And Clarita, just a very, very complete physique. He's 5 feet tall. I don't think he even claims 5'1" anymore, but built like a tank. So much thick, dense, conditioned muscle. And geez, the Olympia was how many weeks ago at this point? Let's see. So today is the 24th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks, Shaun maintained this condition to come in and win the Japan show. Now, the argument's going to be, and I'll get to your comments again in a second, why can't he do both the Mr. Olympia and the 212 Olympia? Because he can't. You have to pick a division. You have to choose one or the other. It's like, You don't want to see a figure pro in the bikini or in the women's physique. You don't want to see the women's bodybuilders in women's physique. You just have to pick a division at the Olympia or actually any show. In the very early days of the 212, back when it was the 202 class, they did allow crossovers. You could do both in the same show. Those days are long gone. We're talking about like almost 20 years ago when they were doing that. So now you have to pick a division. But there's Clarita looking fantastic. See who else. It's like hunting around for footage now. Is this Florian? Yeah, here's your runner-up, Florian Poisson. Now, I know I can't say Theo Leguerier's name, but I can say Poisson. He was your runner-up. And this is a guy that actually looks better on stage than he did on Instagram. I was impressed. Giles and I did a preview of this show a few days ago on our show, Power Hour. And he looked pretty good. But boy, with the tan and even this, the lighting actually looks very different from picture to picture. Like it looks awful there, the lighting. You could still see the condition. This guy was in great condition. Florian, so that was your runner-up. See if they got anything of is this Yoan? Yeah, here's Yoan Pradels. Yeah, this promoter, he keeps putting these really busy LED backgrounds that are just not doing the competitors any favors. That's a better shot. So this backdrop is better than, I assume this is judging in finals. This one was a lot better in terms of less distracting patterns and textures and colors in the background to take away from the physiques. So just to keep you guys posted on how Yoan's been doing in this season. And I thought it was his rookie season, but Giles let me know that he did do one of the late season shows last year, but nobody remembered him. So in the Romania Muscle Fest, he was runner-up. That was to Andrew Jacked, right? Poland, he was runner-up. Prague, he was 5th place. British Grand Prix, he was 3rd place. And Japan, 3rd place. So really good season for Yoan. And I don't think he's done because he's from Spain. And there's one more show happening next Sunday, the Big Man Weekend. And that is the Big Man Pro is happening in Alicante, Spain, his home country. It'd be silly of him not to do that. So I imagine he's going to do that. Let's see if we got a good. Leave this up while we go to a couple comments here. So I do like to get to your comments. Shaun is an amazing athlete. Yeah, there are not many 212 competitors that are capable of doing both at the same time and winning an open show. Keon tried to win an open show. Of course, he had a hell of a much tougher lineup a couple weeks ago, but he could only muster 4th place. Clarita has been top 5 in the Arnold Classic Open. He did win the Legion Pro in 2021, and that was beating Regan Grimes in 2nd place, who was about 265, 270, big boy. And 3rd place, Sergio Oliva Jr., who was closer to 280 at that show. Shaun was 178 pounds. So he was literally giving up 100 pounds to some of the people he beat. But he's the giant killer. That's why they call him the giant killer. I think these guys will get paid. Oh, I think I missed that one before. I hope so. That background is an abomination. Yeah, Giles, and thanks, Xavier, for bringing that up. Giles and I we're going to preview the Big Man Pro show tomorrow, hopefully if the list is out. But we also got to talk about the lighting at some of these shows. There should be a standard for lighting. And I don't know how you would enforce that. Well, the head judge from the IFBB would have to be the one to give the final say. But I mean, if they don't have the right setup, the right lights and technicians doing a good job, I don't know what the head judge or whoever would be in charge of enforcing that. I don't know what they would possibly do. Good question. So let's take a look at some more of the comparisons. That was the front double. Here's the most muscular. So let's see, left to right there on your screen, you could see Yoan Pradels, the black trunks. That is Florian with I think you can kind of see the red trunks below his knuckles there. Florian Poisson, your runner-up. Clarita giving up he is giving up a foot in height. If he's 5 feet, some of these guys are 6 foot. I think Yoan he's got to be close to 6 foot. He's either 5'11" or 6 foot. And Florian looks like he's exactly the same height. In fact, everyone else in that top 5 up there looks to be the same size. Looks to be the same height, roughly. they're all somewhere in the range of 5'10" to 6 foot, and then Shaun is way down there at 5 foot. But this goes to show you, they always say a good big man will beat a good small man. Well, in this case, a good small man beat some good big men. This is from TFE Media, TFE Media's page. Who else did we look at? Yeah, I mean, they did the best job they could trying to take good pictures of these athletes, but that backdrop, you could see how if you know anything about photography, and I know just a tiny bit, I took like one photography class in college 30 years ago. When there's light, different colors and lights, the camera is always trying to color balance and white balance. It's trying to get the best setting. And when you have a busy, bright background like that, it really interferes with the camera's ability to focus on what's in the foreground. In this case, the athlete who we're really trying to get the best pictures of. So even there, it's tough to gauge the condition, the full condition of Shaun. We look at that density in his back, so thick, top to bottom, side to side. That's how a back should look in the rear double by. There's his hands clasp most muscular. Any more comments to get to? Yeah, I'm with you, Xavier. These backgrounds, again, but there's no, I don't see a way to enforce that unless they say to this guy, you know what, we're not digging the quality of your lighting. And if I'll tell you, if these guys don't get paid, if for any reason they don't get paid, I don't think this gentleman will be getting a sanction to promote any more shows for the IPB Pro League. Because yeah, you can see there's Shaun's check. You know, I think legally you could probably take that. You could probably take that to the bank. I think that's a legal check. Maybe. Probably not. It's what they call a novelty check. If you remember in Happy Gilmore, the Adam Sandler character, Happy Gilmore, had a bunch of them in the back. Oh, was Keon there? Yeah, I guess Keon was it. No, that was 50 weeks ago. This is an old. So TFE Media is the channel of one of these guys. So I'm going to go to another channel. Who is the best bodybuilder? Who is the best bodybuilder? So here's their post about the winner. So the show was done at something like 6 in the morning today for my time, Eastern Standard Time, because Japan is 12 hours or 14 hours. They're way ahead of me. But yeah, a lot of people are kind of hurt, sympathetically hurt for Yoan, because this guy, that's 5 shows in a row and he's yet to win one. But let's see who's in the show next week in Spain, because if Florian's not going, and he probably will, he's in France, and France and Spain, they're not that far apart. It's probably like a 40-minute plane flight. So he's probably doing that. But I'd love to see this kid because he's very good. But that would mean he's qualified for the Olympia. Is he ready for the Mr. Olympia yet, Yoan? I don't know about that. I think that's the same shot we just saw. There's Yoan. I think Yoan is a work in progress. He still needs to get the condition down a little bit better, and he needs to work on that back. And these are amateur guys, I'm guessing, or is it men's physique? I don't know. I'll go to Clarita's page for a minute there and see if Shaun has any pictures. Yeah, it's kind of sad that none of them really have great photos. Shaun's a winner, and he doesn't really have any good photos of himself. There he is with the awards, and there's the worst backdrop you could possibly have. Bright fire colors, orange, red, yellow, and you could see how they backlight the athletes, and the cameras are focusing. I don't think it's something they can control. The camera is going to focus on the background because that's where the light is and the colors are, and the athletes get washed out, and you really can't fully appreciate the physiques. I mean, the condition looks awful on them, but I bet under much better lighting circumstances, you would really be able to see the condition was far better than you think. These are all the division winners. Geez, look at the size of that classic winner. He looks freaking pretty damn huge himself. There's Shaun backstage with his money, we hope. Yeah, I mean, I hate to sound, I don't want to be that negative guy. We saw what happened where they didn't get the athletes from the Masters Olympia from the same promoter didn't get paid. Jake Wood had to step up and pay them out of his own pocket. I assume that this promoter is going to reimburse. And he was coached by John Jewett, remember? So the backstage, see the lighting here. Well, this is like, they got a backdrop and they got the light set up for taking photos. That's what the lighting should be like on stage. It should be lit like a photo shoot. The old timers who remember the old Pro Ironman shows, the Ironman Pro Invitational, they were lit by photographer Mike Nevue, who was co-owner of Ironman Magazine and the chief photographer. He shot all the covers, and 90% of all the photos inside the magazine were Mike Nevue shots. And he was so good at lighting. There he is with I assume these are the promoters. Must be. Got that medal, got his money. They have a separate placard for the Olympia qualification. There's Mark Hector. This must be the promoter. Does he tag him? No, he does not. That was probably right before they went out to eat. He's got that big medal. Yeah. Got a couple more comments. No more comments? Okay. Not many guys watching right now. So it was hard to find. Yeah. I'll just look at a couple more and we'll call it a day here. So Clarita, again, he is qualified for both the Mr. Olympia now and the 212 Olympia. He could do either one. He can't do both. I seriously doubt he would do the Mr. Olympia, even though he's qualified, because he's not going to win the Mr. Olympia. He's not going to make top 5. It's just the competition it's too great at that level these days. We got a great group of guys up there now between Derek, Hadi, Samson, Andrew, Nick. It's just a very, very tough group. So I think he'll stay in 212 and he'll try to get his title back. Remember, he did win it in 2020 and 2022. He is a 2-time 212 Olympia champion. I'm sure he'd love to be a 3-time Olympia champion. And he's got a much better chance of doing that than he does ever winning the Mr. Olympia. So even though I'm sure he would like to say he stood on the Mr. Olympia stage with those guys, he probably knows in his heart of hearts it's not the best course. If you have to be strategic about these things and compete where you have the best possible chance of winning, let him do both. No need to do open, plus only top 5 get paid. What's up, Mike? Mike and I will be doing the Meathead podcast Wednesday night at 7. Still nailing down the guys who will be joining us, but we're going to be talking about what we're thankful for. 7 p.m. Eastern Wednesday night. We invite you all to tune in and share what you're thankful for. Don't do it now. Do it then. But yeah, Clarita he's one of the few 212 competitors who is good enough to beat plenty of open men and in some cases win a whole open show, as we saw here today. Go to one more channel to see if there's anything else. Let's go to Bodybuilders Without Borders, see if they have anything. They do not. That's a score sheet. Well, there's a look at the score sheet. So it looks like Shaun didn't win the judging with a perfect score. So I'm guessing Florian Antoine Gilles Poisson, he must have gotten like one first place vote. And then in the finals, they were all for Shaun. But Shaun still won with the lowest score of 7. Poisson was 12. Looks like everything else is pretty consistent. Yeah, a little disappointing to see Big Beef Stew and James way down there in 7th and 8th. I was really hoping they would do better. Liang Yan from China, I thought he would do better than 12th. The other guys I'm not really that familiar with. Maybe one more channel. That was Buys and Tries. Go to, see if AJ's got anything. Well, AJ's got Florian's routine. Did we see that yet? No, I don't think we did. So here's your runner-up. Obviously, if Clarita hadn't been there in Japan, this guy would have been the champ, and he would have had his Olympia qualification. Very, very good bodybuilder. Big guy, balanced, good shape, good structure. From what people are telling me who had better vantage points, Clarita basically won on condition. He's a hell of a bodybuilder. This guy is too. So like I said, it wasn't a perfect score win. So I suspect I should say, this guy Florian probably did get at least one first place vote in the judging. And then Clarita got unanimous first place in the finals, but he won by 5 points. It wasn't that close. But But he looks great. He looked great. We'll be seeing more of him. I assume he's going to keep on going. I bet everybody from this show, and maybe even Clarita, maybe Shaun will stick around. I don't know. He might stick around and go to Alicante, Spain next weekend for the big man show. He might win that too. You never know. You never know. Okay. One more. What about Beyond the Stage TV? Sometimes there's not a lot of footage, as you can see. I don't see any footage. They have nothing. I don't see any footage from the live stream. Oh, yeah, even the photos from this look awful. Just awful. It's just it's the lighting. The lighting is just horrific. James. Yeah. All right. Does he do the Arnold? Talking about Shaun. I heard that Pradels was putting in for the Arnold, or he had been invited. That's not confirmed. I just heard something. No Samson to Derek. Okay, so Samson's definitely not going to be at the Arnold, or Derek. Yeah, he could definitely place. What does James do now? Well, you could say you get a new coach, but he's had a lot of coaches. I left this up from the other day. This. These are the people who have coached James Hollingshead so far, and this is not a knock on the guy, but he's had a lot of coaches. He's been through Patrick Tor, Jordan Peters, Phil Viz, Evan. It's Evan, not even. Boy, I'm messing up everywhere. Nathan Harmon, Chris Aceto, Stefan Kienzel, Milo Sarshev, Chris Tuttle, and currently he's working with Zach Fotheringham from the UK. I think Zach is local to him, so he does get to do check-ins live and in person. Anyway, guys, that was just a quick report because I didn't want to have zero coverage of it. It was a qualifier for open bodybuilding, men's open, the Mr. Olympia, ton of coaches, yeah. So that's it. Shaun Clarida has his second open bodybuilding win, and a qualification to the 2026 Mr. Olympia if he wants to go there. And these were your final results. Shaun Clarida first, second Florian Poisson from France. 3, Yoan, that's how you say it, Pradels from Spain. Czech Republic's Jan Turek in 4th. UK's Mark Hector in 5th. Iran's Mazahar Tabani Bargani in 6th. Beef Stew Stuart Sutherland in 7th. The Shed James Hollingshead in 8th place. Peace out. And Florian winning. He looked damn good. No, he looked really good. You don't have to be biased to have thought that. He's much bigger than Shaun. And I could definitely see how it could have gone that way. Yeah, one last look. I mean, apparently the actual pay-per-view, the stream wasn't any better than this quality-wise. So it's $45. I'm glad I wasn't going to get it. There's no way I was going to get it anyway, but I'm very glad now. Best guys come from 212. Well, not all the time. Samson, Andrew Jacked, most of the guys in open didn't come from 212. Hadi and Derek did. So they're the best examples of former 212 athletes. Bonac came from 212 originally. But most of the guys in the open Mr. Olympia were never 212 competitors. They were always, 230 to 250 pounds to begin with. And a lot of them grew a lot bigger than that. All right. Take off. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to Shaun Clarida, the Giant Killer, on his second open bodybuilding win. First one was 4 years ago at the Legion Sports, and he is qualified once again for the Mr. Olympia, as well as being qualified for the 212 Olympia. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I'll catch you next time.